Hi everyone, it's me, Tisha, over here at She Is the Return Jesus Maria. I would appreciate if people could please, like my video, share my video, even subscribe to my channel. Because over here, you're going to get the truth. Okay? Honestly. I created this channel to teach the truth about Christ, because a lot of people are led in deception. Okay, so I found a piece of scripture that I want to read, and it has to do with the fact that I've been trying to inform people on my platforms that Christ doesn't come from the tribe of Judah. Christ comes from the tribe of Dan, and I'm going to explain why. If you would have watched the movie The Passion of Christ, Christ was literally persecuted because Christ would not worship the Sabbath day. Christ was against it. Okay? Christ was persecuted because Christ was a seducer. Alright? So, in this Bible, which was written in 1813, and the book of Esdras, too, is where I'm going to be reading from, it points it out clear as day. The tribe of Judah and why God is against the tribe of Judah. Okay? A lot of people may not believe me. A lot of people may not even hear me. But that's okay. Not everyone is meant to hear this. Just remember that. I was kind of shocked. But the more reading that I did, the more reflecting that I did, I'm very analytical, so I analyze everything. And I know how to put puzzles together. Because when you realize that Christ comes from the tribe of Dan, because Christ was crucified, persecuted, because Christ would not practice the Sabbath day. If you read if you read the book of Daniel, Dan states, and I will say that Dan is Christ. They just changed the names. They like to do that to confuse people. Alright? Dan states when they go and eat with King Nebuchadnezzar, that Christ would not defile their body. Christ did not eat the royal food. Christ chose to not eat. So when you understand that part, you then question why. And when you understand that Christ was against the Sabbath, Christ was against eating royal food, because Christ did not want to defile their body. Alright? And, well, actually that would be Dan. Christ was against the Sabbath, which has to do with human and animal sacrificing. Okay? And that's what the Sabbath was about. And when you understand that, and when you read the book of Daniel, you then question, if the Antichrist comes from the tribe of Dan, then why would they not defile their body? That's the thing. That is a red flag. Someone is lying. I connect Dan to Christ. I say Christ comes from the tribe of Dan. Christ wasn't a murderer. Christ was a lover. Christ did not defile their body. Christ did not eat flesh. Alright? So, before I get into the reading part, I also want, well, I don't want, I hope that others put into perspective that when it comes to the Bible, the history of it, it has been changed so many times. Okay? Like, God knows how many versions of the Bible there are out there. There's probably so many you can't really count them. Okay? So put into consideration, put into perspective, the Bible has been changed countless of times. Why? Because they want to keep the truth hidden. They want to keep the truth hidden. That's it. Not only that, they took 14 books out. Why? There's something that they don't want no one to know. They don't want me to know it. They don't want no one to know it. But guess what? I figured it out. Not all of it, but I'm sure I figured out a lot. Okay? And I'm going to get into it. So what I chose to do, because if I come to the people and I say, I am Dan, I come of the tribe of Dan, they're going to automatically associate it with, that's the Antichrist. So what are you talking about? No, it's not. And I'm going to prove it. The Antichrist comes from the tribe of Judah. Now, the Antichrist is the one who tries to mimic themselves as Christ, because they want to become Christ. The Antichrist is the one who killed Christ in the past for Christ's power. The same thing is going to happen on this timeline. Period. All right? And we are in those times. Okay? So, also put into perspective that a lot of the books that were written after Jesus died. And a lot of these changes occurred after Jesus died. Okay? So when you think about the book of Revelations, when it states that the dragon has power, or the beast has power for 3.5 years, 3.5 years, that's not the exact truth. You got to use your logic. You got to use your mathematical mind. No one in their right mind is going to put 3.5. They're going to say 3.5 years. But 3.5, from a mathematical perspective, when you simplify it, is going to be 3,500 years. That's how long ago Christ died. 3,500 years ago. So, the Antichrist, the dragon, the serpent, has had power for almost 3,500 years, and that time is coming up, and they're aware of this. That's the reason why all this chaos is going on at this current time. So, let me go ahead and begin to read. I'm going to start reading from the book of Esdras 2. Chapter 1, verse 23. I gave you not fire for your blasphemies, but cast a tree in the water and made the river sweet. What shall I do unto thee, O Jacob? Thou, Judah, wouldest not obey me. Now, if Christ really came of Judah, that wouldn't be a true statement now, would it? Christ obeyed God. Christ would not dare go against God at all. Okay? Wouldn't dare. I will turn me to other nations, and unto those will I give my name, that they may keep my statutes. Now, if you think about Egypt and the statues that have been destroyed, that's exactly what this is referencing to, okay? Because of the fact that Jacob, which is Judah, they're responsible for all that destruction, okay? Seeing ye have forsaken me. Now, if it was true that Jesus Christ came from the tribe of Judah, Christ would not forsaken God, but the Antichrist. Yes. I will forsaken you also. When ye desire me to be gracious unto you, I shall have no mercy upon you. Whensoever ye shall call upon my name, I will not hear you, for ye have defiled your hands with blood, and your feet are swift to commit manslaughter. Tell me, do you actually think that Jesus Christ came from the tribe of Judah? Do you actually think that it was Judah that was cut off from the foundation of creation? No, it was the tribe of Dan. So, in the book of Revelations, there have been changes made. And those changes that have been made to confuse the people. Thus saith the Almighty Lord, have I not prayed you as a father his sons, as a mother her daughters, and a nurse her young babes, that ye would be my people, and I should be your God, that ye would be my children, and I should be your father. But I say mother, because the Elohim were woman. I gather you together as a hen gathered her chickens under her wings. But now, what shall I do unto you? I will cast you out from my face. When ye offer unto me, I will turn my face from you. For your solemn feast days, your new moons, and your circumcisions I have forsaken. Now, a lot of people think that circumcision is something that should be done because of God. That's not the truth. Because it's the flesh. It's of the flesh. So when you get your son circumcised, you're doing a sacrifice for the devil. Point blank and simple. You can't get no clearer than this. Okay? So, when it comes to the tribe of Dan, the Antichrist is not come of the tribe of Dan. The Antichrist is a murderer who feasts off the flesh, who does not hesitate to do human sacrifices, even animal. That's who the Antichrist is. So stop allowing people to deceive you. Honestly, I'm only here to teach the truth that the people forbid from being known. I sent unto you my servants the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, saith the Lord. That has to do with Christ. Christ was a prophet, a prophetess. But people don't know how to read the Bible. Thus saith the Almighty Lord, your house is desolate. I will cast you out as the wind doth stubble, and your children shall not be fruitful, for they have despised my commandment, and done the thing that is evil before me. A lot of people want to sit there because of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, that they associate God with good and evil. But God does not like evil. You cannot find evil in God. But in man you find evil. It's man who tries to claim to be God. I'm God. But they can't even love as God. And the only reason why the tribe of Dan is so persecuted is because it was a tribe of love. Remember, Jesus was persecuted because Jesus was a seducer. Jesus was persecuted because Jesus refused to worship the Sabbath and was crucified there because of it. So, I don't want to get too deep into this right now. It's probably like almost 2 o'clock in the morning. This is probably like my 4th take because my video kept closing out. So that tells me that my adversaries are hacking into my phone system, and I can't stand when they do that. But